everybody, how you guys doing? And welcome. Now I'm excited because if you're watching my show during the week, you know I had some of the ladies on from a great book. And I mean, this is a fantastic book. And I have the honor of introducing them directly to you. So if you want to know what's going on and you're here for the book launch, welcome. Stay tuned. Let everybody know we are on, we are ready, and we're ready to rock and roll. Here we go. And without further ado, I want to bring in a special lady. And I say she is very special because I've been talking to her for a while, getting to know her and how she did everything. So tell everybody we are live and we're ready to go. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Here we go. Yes, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a Saturday special. We're doing a book launch, and without further ado, let me bring on this lovely lady, Daisy.
Hello there. Hello, how are you?
Daisy, are you excited like me? Like, I'm overexcited.
Listen, I am over excited.
So let me do this. There is the book in the background. I want to bring it up. We are launching the book today. There is the book. And we have 2 hours to introduce all these lovely ladies and get to know them a little bit more. And I'm excited to do that. So how have you been? I know you've been putting a lot of hard work into this, getting all the ladies ready, prepped, going meetings, WhatsApp meetings.
I'm telling you, it has been exhausting, but good, just good. And I'm so happy that we have got to this stage. So bring it on.
Yeah. We can't start a program without our national anthem. So wherever you are, please stand for our national anthem.
Again.
Hi, I'm Naomi McDonald, and I'm happy to sing "O Canada" for you. O Canada, Canada knows I you. Glowing hearts, we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you so much. Round of applause, everybody. Now, we can't start the program without recognizing the land that we're on. So stay tuned for our land acknowledgement.
Welcome and good afternoon. We would like to begin today's event by acknowledging the land on which we are all situated, and in particular, the land that present-day Peel region is situated on. For thousands of years, Indigenous people have inhabited and cared for this land. Through the treaties of peace and friendship, Indigenous people have promised to share their territory to provide safe harbor for many who would come to call this place home. In particular, in Peel region, we acknowledge the territory of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe peoples. the land that is home to the Métis, and to the territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, who are direct descendants of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the treaty holders in the region of Peel. And across Canada, we wish to acknowledge all Indigenous people and nations for their gift of peace and friendship. We are grateful to have had the opportunity to live, to work, and to flourish on this land, and by acknowledging the land, we also give our respect to its first inhabitants. Thank you.
All right, Desi, we are official. We are official. We are official. Are you ready?
I am ready. I am ready, Charles.
So here's a couple of things, though. Give us some background on how this all got started, because I've been showing everybody the cover and they're like, wow, how'd you get so many ladies on one book? And, you know, looking at the title, give us a brief statement on how the book came about.
Okay, so how far back do you want me to go? Okay, so let me go back to 2016 when I launched the Let's Grow project. And it was to touch base with 2016 women starting in 2016. And the first year we did a number of things. Up to say 2018, we had a vision board where the women got together and we created our vision boards, and many of us actually our dreams or our visions actually came through that year. And then last year our theme was why not me? And it was, you know, we women, some of us tend to put ourselves back. And we just decided 2019, we're going to jump to opportunities. And we're going to say, why not me to opportunities instead of passing it on to others? And then for last year, 2019, the participants, the women actually got a copy of Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. So that was really, really empowering. And this year, before we even knew that the pandemic was going to come, we decided to go back to the roots of the Let's Grow project. And we said this year, it's going to be Let's Grow. We're going to see how we can grow in the new decade, the new year and the new decade. Well, and I just read out at the Sip and Paint event we held in January, I said, you know, why not write a book? And I think some of the ladies kind of looked at me and said, you know, are you kidding? But, you know, we did it. We have done it. And we started in July and the book is here. So
all right. So
that's how it came together, Charles. But I want to tell you that first preference actually went out to the women who have been with this project for years and even before. And after that, we invited some other people as well.
All right. Now I'm trying to keep up with all the comments that are coming in. There's so many. Congratulations to everybody. The Facebook chats, everything, YouTube chats are full. Keep them coming in. I'm going to pop them up on the screen because I know everybody wants to congratulate you. But then it takes a publisher to help you run all this. So please introduce this lovely lady to the show.
Well, this lovely lady is Dawn James. And it's so ironic that I met Dawn on the first virtual First Fridays event. You know, you and I know Sam. Warren Salmon, exactly. And we just talking. Well, she put her title in the thing, and I said, "This is interesting." And I sent her a message. I said, "We should talk." And so I spoke with her about something else, not the book. But then I introduced her to another friend of mine who wanted to write a book. And the long and short of it is that it was just great timing. And she and I, you know, got together and you know, to talk about it. And I said, you know, let's go. And I introduced her to the ladies. And, you know, we have her, Dawn James.
Hi, Dawn. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Charles. Hey, Daisy.
Hi there. How are you doing?
So let me just ask you right off the bat, as the publisher and seeing all these comments coming in and the book is doing phenomenal, how does that make you feel?
Oh my gosh, I think I'm over excited. It has been so amazing working with Daisy and this beautiful group of women. I have to tell you, and let me go back to a comment you just heard. The first time I went on a virtual First Fridays, I met Daisy. We clicked right away. And by the second conversation, when she said, let's go, we went.
Yes, that's right.
So this project has been just an amazing, I learned so much. I don't want to give away much, but I learned so much from these incredible, diverse, professional women about life and all facets of life. But for me, the key thing in this is to make sure we treated everyone's story with respect, got it edited, got the book design. It was a huge collaboration, lots of fun.
So tell everybody real quick. Tell them the process of launching a book, because some people are scared to do it. So that's why I applaud all these ladies that they went for it. It's not easy to say I'm an author. All these ladies now can put a title to their name, author. How is it to put a book out?
Yeah, well, to put a book out with 21 women, I will speak to that. It's a lot of coordination. Everybody's story, I consider it a mini book. So we worked with each author, got things edited. We had a couple of rounds of editing. When it got to that final stage, we then compiled all the stories together. And the key thing in this particular project, you have 21 unique stories. So we wanted them to flow with a certain feeling as you read through them. It's a certain cadence in the stories because they're all different. And then as we got that put together, we then went on to do the designing of the book. And as you can see, the cover design is one piece, the interior is another piece. For me, as much as publishing is a technical project, it's also very creative. So we had a lot of fun looking at colors and themes and concepts and techniques. Once the design is done, the book is then ready for the world and it goes online. And then there's a lot of back-end work behind the book to make sure it's going to be searchable and found online. So we take care of that as well. So yeah, I've enjoyed publishing. I mean, this is my 11th year, but I truly enjoyed this project. The ladies were fabulous.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for taking the coming on. We appreciate it. And stay tuned for a little bit more. I'm going to put up one more time. If somebody wants to publish a book, okay, there it is. Get in touch, jump in. That's the key thing, to jump in, and don't be scared, because great things can happen when you jump in. So thank you so much for taking the time to coming on with us.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Dawn.
So Daisy, we have some greetings coming up and some special guests. You mind if I put one of the videos up?
No, I don't mind at all.
All right, here we go. Please welcome our mayor.
Brampton is full of amazing, talented people, and we want to highlight and celebrate our multi-talented community members right here in our city. Daisy Wrights is from right here in our city, and her new book, 21 Resilient Women, Stories of Courage and Growth and Transformation, is co-authored with 20 other women, several of whom are from Brampton. These are amazing people doing great things, and I'm excited to add a copy of their book to the mayor's office bookshelves. Take some time this Saturday, attend the online book launch, and get your copy of at Amazon or a retailer near you. We are proud of the work you are doing, Daisy. You are always showing that Brampton means business. Brampton has talent. Congratulations, Daisy.
Daisy, did you hear?
Yes.
Did you hear what he said?
I heard what he said. And I accepted on behalf of the 20 other women.
First of all, thank you, Mayor Patrick.
But that's our mayor, though. That's him, right?
Yes, I know. So thank you so much, Mayor Patrick Brown, for sending in that video. But the part that I really keyed into is that he's putting it on his shelf.
Of course, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that, I don't know how that feels for all the ladies watching and everybody's watching, that now you can actually say that my book is in the mayor's office.
The mayor of Brampton's office.
There you go. There you go. So let's start off with a bang and start off with our first author. Please introduce our first author to the stage.
Our first author today is Jeanette Jose.
Let's welcome her to the show.
Oh, well. Hi there, Jeanette.
Good afternoon, Charles. Good afternoon, Daisy. How are you both doing today?
We're doing pretty good.
One thing I love about Jeanette, she was up, she's ready to go. She's like, I'm down for this. How are you feeling about it?
And just, just so that everybody knows how much of a human experience this is, while I was in the green room, I was fixing my hair to make sure everything was in place. A girl's got to do what she's got to do, right?
Of course.
So how does it feel? Because I put up some greetings on Facebook and YouTube. You got family and friends watching. How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel very happy that there are some of them who are on here, who are supporting. Unfortunately, my parents and my other two sisters are in a different time zone. So my parents are in the Philippines right now, and it's 5:22 in the morning there. My dad did promise that, he's an early riser, he'll watch, but it's okay if he doesn't. I'll send him the link. And my sister's in India. It's, I think, 3:00 a.m. there. I do have cousins in the Philippines, all over the world. Maybe they're not able to come today, but I know that Sarika, who's from California, is watching with the whole family. So it makes me happy that even if they're not in the live program, they're able to watch this later on.
There you go. So let's dive into it. Why did you want to become an author?
So this is actually the second time that I've been given an opportunity to become a co-author. There was another book that I had the honor and privilege to be a part of a couple of months ago. And this is the second one. And you know what? It doesn't matter if it's the first or the second or the third. The feeling is always the same. I looked at my chapter. I read the stories of the other ladies, well, most of the stories, and I had to pinch myself and ask myself, oh my gosh, did we really do this? I cannot believe that there is a pandemic going on and we actually got together and wrote 21 powerful stories so that we can leave a legacy for people amidst this pandemic. There's so much negativity around this pandemic. We wanted to give, not just, readers in Canada, but, far and wide, an opportunity that, 21 ladies came up with this book. Shoved aside COVID for a while, and brought this legacy into really the world out there.
Okay, so what is your chapter?
Sorry, my chapter is chapter 3, and the title of my chapter is "You Got This."
Okay, why that title?
My chapter, so without giving away the whole story, because I really want the readers to be able to read. So I highlighted my experience of leaving my home country, India then in 2010, and moved to Canada. And, as just like any newcomer, any immigrant, it comes with many challenges, high or low. And every challenge that I had to face, I kept telling myself, it was a mental note, Jeanette, you got this. Jeanette, you got this. You've got this in the past. You're going to be okay. So I thought to myself, you know what? This should be my title. The title of the book. Sorry, the chapter. Oh my gosh, what am I doing?
So here it is. How did you do your process to come up with your section?
I knew that I wanted to share a little bit, like snippets of my experience as a newcomer. And mind you, these stories are not the end. They're a part of the experience that I'm sharing as a newcomer. And I always knew that I wanted to share the beginning part. When I left India, when I landed at Toronto Pearson International Airport, and the whole process of writing it, really, Charles, was, there was a roller coaster of emotions because it was like I was living everything all over again. And there are some parts of that story where, yes, they were sad. I was demotivated, but I also used it to push myself forward. So it was a roller coaster. I did shed a few tears, especially when I found myself in solitary. But then again, when I go back and read my chapter, I told myself, this is what made you who you are today. And this is what is going to push you forward to achieve more things.
Yeah, I like how you said that, to achieve more things. So
Yeah.
after this book now, what do you want to achieve?
Well, there was a chat going on. We're a family now, the 21 ladies. There was a talk in the chat last night. It's such a vibrant group. So everybody's telling each other, sleep well, make sure, you're relaxing. And I believe it was Shirley, if I'm not mistaken, one of the co-authors. She's like, I'm ready for volume 2. So maybe, so the next great thing, everybody, I know I'm putting Daisy on the spot, sorry. I think there will be a volume 2. And even if she doesn't want to, we will push her to do it. So this is the first, hopefully, of many more stories to come. And when I say greater things, it is to continue to work in the sectors that we are in. All of us women have different sectors. My personal passion has always been to work with young people. Youth just give me a different kind of an energy. I continue to do, things behind the curtain, in front, at the stage level, to be able to help that demographic. And of course, hopefully write more books.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't go nowhere because we're going to bring it back on later on. But thank you so much.
No problem. See you later. Bye.
Daisy, now, when we did the pre-launch and I got to, listen to all the ladies.
Yes.
This next lady that's coming up, I saw her and I was like, oh my God, I have not seen this lady in years. I was so excited because she's family to me. You know what I mean? So
yes.
I was so excited to see her on, and I'm proud of her. I can tell you right now before I bring her on. So please welcome to Shade, Mrs. Nunes. Give her a big round of applause. How you doing?
Good. Hi, Daisy. Hi, everybody.
Angela.
I have to do this. He's Charles, but really he's my
How are you?
I'm great.
So listen, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to say it right off the bat for jumping in and doing this. I am really proud of you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
So why jump in?
Well, why not? Why not?
Right.
So it's an amazing opportunity. And really, it wasn't so much about writing a book. It was really about celebrating women. So for me, it's not so much being an author, but it's the opportunity to really get in there, join with all the other ladies who are co-authoring the book, and together doing something to promote and to motivate women to say, you can do this. If we did it, you can too.
So what is the connection? How did you meet Daisy and you started it?
Ooh. Okay, so this goes way back.
Way back.
Yeah. And I'm now retired, but in my work life, there was at one point where I was chair of a professional development organization called Canadian Career Information Association. And around that time, Daisy had done remarkable work with getting information about employment. And she had put a survey out. It was actually national, I believe. She had just gone out and surveyed a lot of employers and got a lot of valuable information. So I found out about that and brought her in as a presenter with one of our events. And I just want to give a shout out to Christine Colosimo, who was my partner in crime. And Christine and I co-chaired the association for a few years.
All right. So everybody's asking, what chapter are you?
I am chapter 11.
Okay. And give us a snippet. What's your title?
Well, it's called Keeping My Vineyard and Sporting New Tires.
Okay. Explain the title.
Okay. So those are two very special events in my life, or very special parts of my life. So Keeping My Vineyard actually came from a Bible study group that we were doing. And if anyone ever heard of the book Song of Solomon, which is a very romantic story, talks about vineyard keeping. So great things came out of that. And then Sporting New Tires, because I'm retired.
Okay.
Retired.
I got it. So if somebody wants to jump in and write a book for the first time, what advice would you give them?
Well, I'd say talk to Dawn James and ask her to send you that handout that she sent to us.
So what was new then? So let me ask you this. What did you learn when you were writing it for the first time?
Well, I learned that I have a lot of stories to tell, so I have to just drill down and grab one and stay with it.
Yeah, because it's focused. You're like, how do you get the best story out? Changing your focus. What would you put in, right?
Exactly. That's right. Yes.
So Daisy, let me ask you. This is a friend from a long time. When you read her chapter, what were you proud of her for?
Well, first of all, I'm proud of her for sticking with me for so long. It's like every event, she's either there or she's sending somebody. So, and then I think it was more the retired part of it, where she thought she was going to retire until she found this group of women that meets, I think, every week. And then there she is, feeding her vineyard, getting all the spirituality that she needs to take her through the days and the weeks. So yeah, I was happy that she's a part of it and a great supporter.
All right. So let me ask you this. The family. I know the family role. How's the family, your daughters, the family, everybody, how are they feeling about seeing you now? Look at you live on internet, live on social, author. What are they saying?
Well, you know what? First of all, they've I have to say that although this is not their field of work, but they've really contributed to making me look good. It's first with the headshot for the book, and then my youngest came over today. Don't tell the mayor, but only one, sir. Only one person visiting. She came and got me dolled up, but they're all watching. So I've got them cheering. I've got my fan club going on, and especially my husband.
Yes, and as you do, I'm going to put this up right there. There you go. We're proud. There you go. See.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, stay tuned. We're going to bring you back later on. But once again, I'm so proud of you and congratulations.
Thank you, Charles, Chucky.
So what I'm gathering, Daisy, it's family. You guys became, all separate, but after writing the book, you guys are all now family.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We got to know each other more. Well, I have known I've known more than half of them for a long time.
Okay.
So they are my family as well. And I actually have my family watching right here in my house, but also from Florida, Jamaica, Denver, so I have to be on my best behavior to Charles.
This next author I want to see, because I can tell she's trouble. I can tell, but I want to bring her on. We have a lot of fun. You gotta have some people that are different. Everybody's unique in here. And
yes.
That's what I like about your stories. Everybody's unique. You know what I mean? So when it's all done, I want to find out which one is the funny one, which one, the stories, because you guys are all telling the stories. So we want to find out. So please introduce our next guest.
Our next guest is Amanda Edwards. Hey, Amanda.
Hi Daisy. Hi, Charles.
Hi, Amanda. Now, I think you're the trouble one of the group. Am I right on that one?
I'm actually the quiet one. I'm super busy sometimes, and sometimes I have to scroll all the way up to catch myself up on the chat.
Okay. So what do you do? What is your name? What do you do?
I'm a physician assistant in the neurology department at the GWMFA here in Washington, D.C.
Okay, so you're coming in from Washington.
Yeah. Well, that's where I work. I currently reside in Maryland, just a little bit outside the city.
Okay, so how did you get involved? Because these are, so I want to make sure everybody knows that these are from women from around the world. I guess I could say. Is that right, Daisy?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get involved in this great book?
Well, I'm actually a Canadian, specifically a Brampton native, and yeah. One of the other co-authors, Tanya Sinclair, is actually my aunt by marriage. And so, I guess she was with the Let's Grow Project and heard that they were writing a book on resilience, and she thought that I would be a great fit. She asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, why not?
Oh, okay. So let me just pull some of these up because I'm getting message coming in. So there we go.
Auntie Tanya, there you are.
There you go. So tell us, what chapter are you?
I'm chapter number 2, and it's called The Wheel Perspective.
Okay, now let me ask, is this your first book?
It is.
And then have you been like fling it social media, throwing it here, throwing it a little time here, throwing it to
a little bit. I'm super excited. I think that it took a little bit of time for me to really take in the magnitude of what it really meant to be an author, especially with such a illustrious group of women. So I feel very honored to be a part of the project.
But can you say that part again? Author.
Yeah. Author.
Yeah, how's that, like when you say it, how does it roll off?
It feels good. It's becoming a little bit more second nature, but I'm still getting used to it.
Now you can put that at the end of your business cards. You can put it in there, right?
At the top of the resume. Oh yeah, it's going
absolutely.
So how did you come up with your chapter? Was it something, a vision, a memory? How did you put your chapter out?
It was pretty much an experience. I thought about, just the title alone about resilience and growth. And I thought about a time in my life where I had to exhibit those characteristics. And it was definitely a no-brainer for me. It was definitely the moment that pretty much changed my life. I was in a pretty traumatic car accident that rendered me paralyzed. So I'm a paraplegic now. And having to, kind of recount those stories and recount the memories of that was a little challenging at first, but as I began to see the growth as where I was to where I am now, it really began to inspire me, to be honest. And so it was a no-brainer. That's exactly what I wanted to write about.
And how do you feel that your story will help others?
I think that's definitely the main purpose. My story is not something that I talk about casually. It's definitely not something that a lot of people know too many details about. I think that my chapter in the book will definitely shed light on a lot of things that maybe even some of my family members didn't know how I felt at the time. And I know at that time, I felt that I was alone. I felt like, I was the only one experiencing this. I hadn't known anybody like me. I didn't know any young women in wheelchairs or anyone that had gone through my specific experience. Now, going through it, I do realize that there's other people out there that are going through that very same experience. And so I really hope that my chapter in the book will help to encourage other people to keep on going and push on and go ahead and accomplish the dreams despite.
So let me ask you, has the book released your breath? Meaning you could release now. Everything you always want to say or do, it's in the book. Have you taken that deep breath and go, I've done it, I've released, and there it is in the chapter?
Yes, writing the book was very cathartic and therapeutic for me. I do feel lighter. I do feel even more confident having shared my story. And it's definitely really just a snippet of my experience. So it's definitely something that I would like to expand on, hopefully in the future.
Well, then let me ask you this, because you said you're scared, not scared or shy to explain what happened.
Yeah.
Has this given you the confidence to go out now and go, hey, look at me?
It has, indeed, it has. And that's always a question when I roll into spaces. Everyone wants to know, like, especially as a physician assistant, it's like, what's going on here? So, it definitely gives me the confidence to, roll outside of my box and share exactly, where I'm coming from. And I feel like it will be inspiring to others. And that's exactly what I hope to do.
Okay, well, listen, I thought you were the trouble one. You said you're the quiet one.
So, I'm the quiet one, but I can't be a troublemaker.
We're gonna come back on chapter 2 of the book, because I heard you guys are doing something. Chapter 2, maybe.
Yeah, well, me too. I'm here for it.
And I'm gonna find out a year from now if you're out there now doing your thing. So I'm proud of you for letting loose and sharing your story.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So stay tuned. We'll be back as well. Daisy.
Yeah.
Listen to what she said. She used the book to get out there. She used the book to say, hey, here's my story. How does that make you feel that the ladies are using the book to, as I call, release, let it go, saying what they have to say?
Well, you know what? After we had finished our individual stories, we had a meeting and I asked the woman, I said, now that it's done, how do you feel? And people are expressing their opinion. And I remember specifically Amanda saying it was therapeutic. And I myself let go. Like, I actually took a sigh of relief when she said that it was therapeutic. And I think that's what has happened with our individual stories. Once they're written, it gives us a sense of relief. It gives us a sense of confidence, like Amanda says. And it kind of tells us, and it tells people that regardless of your situation, you can make it. There is, don't give up regardless, just keep going on. Just keep going on. And others are experiencing, the same things that you are. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to our next guest. She's there. I've been watching her smiling and looking at everybody's stuff. Please introduce her.
Well, is our next guest, is you Jenny?
Yep, Jenny's here.
Yay, Jenny. Welcome, Jenny.
Thank you.
I was a little worried, Jenny.
Thank you so much. Afternoon, Charles. Afternoon, Daisy. Wonderful to be here. This is amazing.
Well, we are happy to have you, Jenny.
Here's the thing. I can see everybody in the green room. And as all the other ladies are talking, Jenny's just smiling and she's sitting there looking. And let me ask you this. Listening to all the other ladies, how does that make you feel, Jenny? Because you're part of it and listening to their story.
It's been a fascinating experience, Charles. I can't tell you. And everything that the ladies say just resonates. And I feel so lucky and privileged to just be part of this just amazing collaboration. All
right. So first of all, please tell everybody where you're coming in from.
Sure. I'm coming in from Mississauga.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Exactly.
The accent just threw me off. Hold on. So where's the accent from?
The accent's from London.
There you. Okay. See, I was throwing it there. I thought it's 4:00. She's missing her tea time. Like,
absolutely.
So, tell us about your chapter. What chapter are you?
I'm chapter 19. To behave as her inner woman prompts.
Say that one more time.
To behave as her inner woman prompts. It's a quote.
Okay. So tell it, not giving us all away, but give us a snippet about your chapter.
Sure. So my chapter really is a journey. So it starts from childhood, goes into the workplace, goes into parenthood, goes into volunteering. So it takes you on a phenomenal ride.
Okay. Now, is this your first book?
It's my second. Second. Yes, it's my second collaboration.
So you come in as a veteran, and what was different between this book and the last book?
Sure. So the last book was more technical. My background is as a CPA, now working in diversity and inclusion. So that was a book that was geared towards finance, accounting professionals. It was a mentor's guide. Great experience. This one, though, really resonated on a personal level in a different way because it resonates with my values around collaboration as a sisterhood. It's been amazing.
Okay. And then family, what did your family say?
They're excited. Family is takes on a different meaning when you're an immigrant and you've moved country, because you're sort of now separated by thousands of kilometers, and so you develop other families. The ladies in the network that I founded, my work colleagues, all of those I know, all of those guys are cheering this on and really excited to get a copy of the book.
Okay, now I've been putting up some congratulations. What's Friends saying? I've been asking everybody about family, but what has Friends been saying?
Absolutely. Well, it's funny. There was a conversation about the book launch at a work meeting yesterday, and my female colleagues were teasing me, saying, "Oh, so we've got a celebrity in the house, we've got an A-lister in the house." And of course, the ladies from the network I founded have been incredibly supportive, liking the social media posts, reacting, helping us to get the word out, because of course, part of the proceeds are going to a women's shelter, which is just phenomenal as well. So it really is women helping other women. And yeah, it's just been a phenomenal journey.
Okay, so
could you just tell them the name of the organization that you found, because that's important.
Sure. So in 2016, I founded Black Female Accountants Network, which is a faith-based Christian professional sisterhood, and our vision is to empower each other to make a difference within the accounting profession, the workplace, and the community at large. And as God has had it, with His grace, we have some phenomenal success stories and a great track record of accomplishment in our short time of 4 years.
Okay, that's amazing.
That's important.
That is amazing. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to bring all the authors on together. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Daisy.
You're welcome. Good to have you.
Helping newcomers get over cultural barriers to reach their goals in Canada. Newcomers helping newcomers, from our experience being a newcomer to yours. Settling into your new life in Canada can be hard. We're here to help with your banking needs, engaging your new community, introductions to partners that can help you get settled, and more. On behalf of RBC, we want to say congratulations to Daisy Wright on the book launch.
The Salvation Army Honeychurch Family Life Resource Center provides services to all women, 16 years and older, regardless of their ability, race, sexual orientation, political or religious beliefs, ethnocultural background, First Nation, Métis, or Inuit identity, who are experiencing or are at risk of experiencing, threatened by and or affected by violence and or abuse, or have mental health needs or use substances, as long as services are available and appropriate. Short-term emergency shelter, nutrition, personal hygiene products, and some clothing are provided during families' stay. Supportive counseling programs and housing and transitional assistance are also provided. We would like to say congratulations to all the ladies of 21 Resilient Women on launching a fantastic and courageous book.
Yes, we are back live, and then we're going to bring back all the other authors, so stay tuned. Here we go, and there we go. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, I just saw one of the authors, the last author just jumped in. I'm going to bring her on as well. I don't want to miss her.
Yes, you can't miss Marcella.
There she is. She just jumped in. So we're going to start with her real quick before we bring the other authors back in, okay?
Yes.
This is technology. We can do all this stuff real quick.
Marcella.
I thought you forgot about me.
No, I didn't see you weren't in the back end as yet. So great that you could jump in. Great that you could have you in there.
It's
so
okay.
Please tell everybody, what chapter are you on?
I am chapter 6.
Chapter 6. And then
lucky number 6.
That's right. What is your title?
Your title, Marcella.
Oh, she's frozen.
I lost you. Sorry.
Chapter 6. What is your title?
My title is Live to Change. Change is the name of the game.
Live to Change. Change is the name of the game. And are you a first-time author?
Very first time. Couldn't be any more beginner.
Tell us two things. What were you scared about to start? And at the end finished product, what were you so proud of yourself?
Say that again. The first part?
The first part is, what were you scared to start? What was frightening you, hesitating you to start?
I think the most important thing that I learned, and the thing that I am so proud of have overcame, is that I I kept thinking that who cared about my story? Like, the imposter syndrome, like amplified in my head. Like, why would anybody care about, what I have gone through or what my life story is about? And then, what amazed me, one of the things that amazed me the most was when I was reading through everybody's stories, and as everybody has said, that we came together thanks to Daisy and a very, organic group. And I'm very, very, very thankful and, grateful that Daisy brought us together in such a kind and generous way. And it was that when you read the stories, you'll see that even though we come from very, very different backgrounds and places and cultures, there's so much in common. So there's so much in common because we are, resilient women, because we are, women, because we are, immigrants, or because we're mothers, and that just made me tear up when I was reading the stories. It's just amazing. I can't find the words to tell you how amazing this experience has been.
Okay, so the question is now, are you going to do another one?
Maybe, probably, yeah. I think my story continues. My story is about change, and life has, taught me that when and as I think by nature, we all humans tend to try to hold tight to our comfort zone. And then life throws you, something at you. And when you think that you have everything figured out, or that life is, going well, then you have to again and again adapt and change and, use your resilience and your strength to keep going.
So let me ask you this, behind closed doors, nobody's listening, nobody's watching.
Okay, just between the three of us, right?
We're not live, we're not, yeah. How many times did you change your story?
Not many, actually. And I was, surprised because, as everybody has said, like Dawn, the publisher, she did an amazing job, like guiding us and making us feel like all our stories were, interesting, worth, and confident. So she was so kind and good at guiding us through the process that actually the main thing that I had to do was to shorten my story, because we were given, some limited, number of pages that we were, and I think if you ask all the co-authors, you'll find that everybody was ready to write the whole book on our own because everybody found that, you had so much to tell, or you wanted to include so many details. And at the end, I think I had to cut like 2 pages of, details. The story stayed the same, but I had to make it shorter and more concise to be able to, make it work for the space and the guidelines that we had. So,
all right. Yeah. So speaking of which, I'm going to bring everybody back in now, and I'm going to ask them that. Okay. She said she had to cut down her story. Raise a hand. Who else had to cut down your story? So anybody can answer. This is open for the next 5 minutes. We're just having a quick open chat. What did you feel like as you were writing? You were saying you said too much, you didn't say enough? Did you feel this was better than this part? Anybody can answer real quick.
Well, I'm going to have to be honest. I actually, after I sent mine off to the publisher, I had to ask for permission to change the end of my story, because I was just losing sleep over like, no, that's not what I want to say.
Anybody else? Did you want to change your story? Like after you put it out, was there something you said, oh, I should have said this? No, I want to say this. Anybody else?
I can definitely. I always have a lot to say. I wanted to add more stories, or actually no, more anecdotes to my story about the kindness of Canadians. when I was a newcomer and an immigrant, and when I was adjusting to my life. And in the story, there's two, areas there that I'm sharing, the genuine kindness that Canadians brought forward, Canadians from all walks of life. And I wanted to talk more about those experiences that I had. Yes, I had some negative or challenging experiences, but I wanted to keep that for myself to be able to learn and really move forward in life and really bring forward how we are as Canadians and what proud Canadians we are, aren't we?
So here's a question. Did you put something in the book and then sent it off to the publisher and afterwards go, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that? Why did I put it in there? Why? Oh my goodness.
Totally.
Anybody?
Totally. I did. Like or I felt like, oh my God, I don't know if I want the world to know about all these details, right? Like maybe not. And then I thought to myself, if I'm doing it, I'm going to go all the way. I have to be open and honest if I really want to be, if I really want anyone reading my story to feel that, I'm doing it to inspire and to let people know that you're not alone and you're going through a lot of things that everybody has to, face or overcome in life.
All right. So I'm going to ask these last two questions to Amanda and Jenny.
Charles, I just want to add to what Marcella said.
Yep.
When it's not when you're not naturally inclined to show vulnerability, that's something that many of us have to work on. And I think I've been inspired by so many of the women actresses, like, celebrities who've talked about, some of the illnesses they've had or some of the problems that they've had. And so I talk in the book about the challenges of breastfeeding my first son and how much of a failure it made me feel, and someone who's not comfortable with failure. But I thought it was so important to share that, even though I'm an intensely private person, because a lot of women have issues with trying to breastfeed when they first become a mother. And so I kind of wanted to put it in the book to say, you know what, as Marcella said, you're not alone. A lot of women have this problem. It doesn't make you any less a great mother. It doesn't make you a failure. And I think it's important to share some of those personal stories. Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to leave the last word to you, Amanda. What were you impressed? Like, did you find something new about the ladies that you can say, now I have a new family?
Oh, definitely. I think that everybody's individual stories were beyond inspiring. And I'm, again, like I said, just beyond honored to be a part of this wonderful project. I believe that I do have a new family, a new network, some new connections, some new people to look up to. I'm incredibly blessed to be here.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you coming on, and I want to give you all a big round of applause because you guys were amazing. So if you're watching live, do not go nowhere because we have another set of the chapter ladies that are coming on just now. So we're going to take them off. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Congratulations.
And thank you. Thank you. And thank you for having us and for being here.
Not a problem. Bye-bye, guys.
Okay.
All right. So Daisy, we have
wasn't that awesome?
Yes, we have another set of ladies coming in. So I'm waiting for them to all chip in, and they'll take their turn to come in one at a time. But here's a question for you.
Yes.
Seen them all.
We should have a special guest somewhere there.
Yes, we do. And I'm gonna let her in just now. I'm just gonna bring everybody else from the studio. They're all coming in. They're all excited. So introduce our special guest while I bring all the other people in.
Well, I would love to introduce the best counselor in Brampton, Charmaine Williams. And listen, when I reached out to her and I said, if I know you're busy, and if you're busy, you can send a recording. She said, no, I will be there live. And I said, yes. And she is here. So it's my pleasure to welcome Counselor Charmaine Williams.
Hi. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. You know, it's COVID, but I'm very hopeful, and I'm just using this as a time to be with my kids and my husband because I'm sure everybody hasn't had this much time with their family, and
No.
it's a reminder how precious family is. But it still can be very challenging. So I feel very blessed despite everything. Yes. Yeah.
Great.
All right. So let me ask you this one question. A lot of these authors are from Brampton, our own Bramptonians. How does that make you feel to hear that?
Oh, it makes me feel so good. I just have to say how much I appreciate Miss Daisy, for doing this. Yeah, I'm a city councilor, and before this, I was in children's mental health. So it's been a real blessing to be in this position, and be connected and get to meet so many people. And Miss Daisy is like a magnet; she draws you in, and just puts you in the right place to connect you. And I think this book is a perfect example of who Miss Daisy is. And she's the megaphone, right? The megaphone for all these women to share their experiences and their stories. And I just want to thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
All right. So I'm going back to what the mayor said. Okay. The mayor said this book is going to be on his shelf.
Yes.
How does this book, as a woman, and hearing all the stories, talk about that? Because a lot of women sometimes they want to put out their stories.
Right.
So I applaud them all for just saying, I can do it. I can put out a story. So, as a young girl, I have a little daughter. I want her to read the book. I want her to see, the ladies and what stories they have. Because to me, stories help other people learn. If you can tell a story and they can say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't think of it that way. How do stories learn?
It's so true. And I think what is so important about this book is, it's a time for us to really realize and listen to these stories and know that we are so resilient. We have all of the strategies and the tools within us. We just need to untap it. And sometimes you need to hear other people's stories to help you remember, oh, I've gone through this. I went through something similar, so I'm really also looking forward to getting my copy and putting it on my shelf. And I'm looking forward to reading it and sharing this book with other people as well, because, and especially my kids. I have 3 girls, and, I just think it's important for us to, feel empowered and strengthened by all that you're hearing and all that you're reading, and use those stories as the roadmap to overcome your own challenges. And so I think today is also a milestone. I heard some people say that this is the first time that they're telling their story, writing it down, and so it's just so great to have this, and Brampton made, Brampton owned. You know what I mean? We need Brampton made. There are so many great things coming out of Brampton, and actually out of COVID. I think sometimes we focus on the negative things, but Daisy launching this during COVID is perfect. We need to tell these stories. You have to remind people that you're going to come out a little bruised, but bruises heal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And getting this during COVID, releasing this during COVID, such perfect timing. So thank you for doing that. You should put on the applause for Miss Daisy for doing that this time right now,
I think, and Charmaine, when I told the ladies I was inviting you to be here, I said to them, I said, your story could easily have been in that book as well. So just take a minute, not more than a minute, to tell us your story so they know where you're coming from.
Yes, well, my journey to becoming a counselor was an interesting one. Like I said, I worked in children's mental health, and my last position was a behavioral consultant for Reach Out Center for Kids in the Halton region, and I loved doing that work. But I had a few friends that were politicians, and they said, you know what, you should really be at the table. We need more of your voices and your experience, your hands-on frontline work experience at the table, because that seems to have been missing. And so I was ended up pregnant, and I was on maternity leave, and I knew I was approaching maternity leave, but 5 days after having my last baby number 5, I had a brain hemorrhage, and it was a pretty significant brain hemorrhage. I was in the ICU for recovery. I couldn't walk. I had to regain the strength to be able to walk and see and all of these things. And but during it all, there was a calmness because I fully believe that God wasn't finished with me, and I knew He was in control of everything. And I thank God for having faith, and my parents for raising me up to have faith, because it gives me something else to rely on. You don't really feel lost when you have God on your side. That's just how I feel.
Absolutely.
Right. And so I recovered. I remember going to Sunnybrook on the 27th of May, and the neurologist saying, "You're fine. Everything is good. You're not at risk of having another brain hemorrhage. Just make sure you live a healthy life." And I said, "Okay, well, I'm good." The next 2 months later, in July, I registered for city councilor, and had no idea what I was getting myself into, nor what I was doing running. But I had good people around me, and we just ran a strong race. I put all my faith into it, knocked a lot of doors, and I won the election and making history in Brampton. It's been phenomenal.
There you go. Well,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us.
I'm so happy to be here, Daisy. Kudos, man. This is good. Yes.
Thank you, but I couldn't have done it without the other 20 women. So
see you later.
Thank you, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Charles. Have a great night, guys.
Yeah, you too.
All right, Daisy, let's go. I'm ready for the next 5.
The next 5, yes.
Let's introduce our first one. She's been here since day one.
I know. So it's my pleasure to introduce Laura Tamori.
Hi.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Laura's been here since the first group. She's like, no, I'm here. I'm been here since the first group.
I didn't want to take any chances.
So welcome. First question. What is your chapter?
My chapter is chapter 7.
And what is
the title? Is The Journey to Success is the Destination.
One more time.
The Journey to Success is the Destination.
And why did you write that as your title?
I wrote that as my title because I've been through many challenges in life, and I realized that sometimes we're so focused on the goal, like if I only just get this done, or maybe get the job, or get what I'm looking for, then I'll be fine. But then who we become in that journey, the emotions and all of the highs and the lows, is really, at the end of the day, when we look back, hindsight is 20/20, is what we look back to say, oh, okay, I changed, and we changed so much, at least for me, that when we finally hit that prize, we actually remember more of the memories while we're getting through. So that was what my story was about, and I've seen that over and over again in my experience.
Okay, so what if someone reads the book and your chapter? What are they going to say? Oh my goodness, I didn't know that about her.
That I'm the first female to attend university in my family. I grew up in Nigeria, and from a young age, my mom always said, you have to go to school, this is something, and she really wanted that. So it's something that people don't know about me. Sometimes we look like, oh, this is the way I was made. I just got here from day one, but all of the journey that I used to become who I am today is part of the story that I wrote.
Here's the question for you. You said your journey, and now your journey is in a book that will be, somewhere forever. How does that make you feel so you can pass that story on to the next generation, and the next generation?
It makes me feel very happy, but also when Daisy approached me about writing the book, I'm like, Daisy, you know what I'm going through, I'm like, I shouldn't be writing a book now. I shouldn't be trying to survive like the next minute. And she's like, Laura, you should, try. I said, okay, I'm going to try, I'll see. And then while writing the book, the experience, I'm like, wow, I love this. And this just made me realize that I'm going to write many more books. This is just the beginning. And that was so important to realize that, because before then I was thinking, writing a book, I always had ideas, and I was a good, I used to score really high in my essay writing in high school. But I always thought writing a book, oh no, that's not for me. But now I can say I'm an author, and
there you go, Laura.
I want to hear you guys say it. You guys are authors, and that that's a title that no one can take away from you. Once you put that pen to paper and the book was published, no one can take that away from you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So what's the next step? What is the next? I see someone's asking. That's just the beginning. You know, you got people watching and they're saying that's just the beginning. What new do you want to try? You've done this. What do you want to try?
This has given me the courage to start planning for my main book, which a lot of my friends and family, when they heard I wrote a book, they thought, oh, they're probably thinking what I wrote in the book is what they're thinking I wrote in the book is not what I wrote. But then I am going to write that book. But so this has been the stepping stone to make me realize that I have a voice, and that voice, I need to, speak up and just help the next generation. It might just be one of the stories of my 20 other co-authors that someone will read and will help them to see that I can do this. I can, I was inspired reading the stories. I cried and I laughed, and, all of the experiences, and even for writing mine, it was the same. So yes, that's my next goal.
Okay, so for me, my one person was my Nana. Anything I did, I wanted my grandmother to see it. She was my rock, my hard place, anything. Who is the one person that you want to see this book or would love to have seen this book to make you so proud?
My 3 children. They've been with me through thick and thin, and when they heard, Mommy, you wrote a book, so now you're famous, Mommy, you're famous. And I have 2 daughters, and it's so important for them to see, that they can use their voice and that their story can, can help another person. They're just paying it forward. So I have great support system, lots of, I have family, friends. Hey, Evelyn, she just, I stay online as well, but just my family and friends, especially the ones, very worried about me. Is she okay? And all of that due to all the challenges I faced. Just knowing that, yes, I'm fine. And this is just the beginning. We can do this. All right. Well, stay tuned. Thank you so much. We're going to bring you back as a group as well. But, congratulations. Thank you.
Now you realize why I've brought all these women together. Why I had to have the Let's Grow project. You notice how much growth is happening from these wonderful women.
You know what it is for me, Daisy? It's more of just seeing the proudness on them. I don't know. I'm weird. People say I just love seeing other people happy. I love seeing other people proud of themselves. The smile on their faces that they've done this. This is why I'm asking these questions, because you need to be proud of yourself. Not many people do this. None of people have the courage to do this. I wrote a book, and it's still in my head.
Well, it took me 10 years to write my first book.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I kept saying, one of these days I'm going to write a book. And one of these days didn't come until I was speaking with a librarian and telling her I'm going to write this book about no Canadian experience. And she said, I think we have something like that in the library. And I said, what? And we walked over and I saw it and I said, no, this is not it. But that was the driving force behind me putting pen to paper and writing my first book.
All right. So please introduce our next guest and let's see what was her driving force on doing this chapter.
Okay. Well, I am pleased to introduce my good friend, Taranam Khan.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Daisy, for calling me a good friend. You are more a sister to me. Thank you, Charles. It's wonderful to see you again.
Hi, we're sisters from different mothers.
Yes, that's what she says. And I truly believe we have some connection that only the superpower up there knows how we are connected.
Well, then let me ask you this. You're a first-time author?
No, this is actually my 3rd compilation, and I have written previous contributions in publications before.
All right, so this will
be a 3rd book compilation contribution for me.
Okay, so
as an author.
This is not the norm, but I'm going to do it just for you because I love the smile on your face.
Oh wow! Okay.
Name the book just before this one.
Ignite Your Leadership.
Okay, so what was the difference between that book and this book?
Very different. The first one that I did was for my family. It was focused on the immigration experience, especially my parents and their experience of not being picked up in the lottery system. The sponsorship piece. Yeah. That challenge. I'm an only child, and they are very important to me. My life around kind of goes around them. So that was the first. The second one was Ignite Your Female Leadership, which focused on a career-related experience as a young professional and comparing it to an experience that I had in Canada. And now this one is focused on a completely different kind of career experience again, which I wanted people to know about, because a lot of us go through challenges, and it's the mindset that we have which can make a huge difference as to how we work through those adverse situations. My chapter is chapter 18. It's called Finding Opportunity in Adversity.
Okay, and I like the part that you said that the challenges. Everybody has challenges. It's what do you do to make that next step? And
That's
so
right.
when they read this book, what do you hope they get out of it? Inspiration, courage, strength. What do you want them to get out of this chapter?
The first thing I want them to know is they're not alone. Each one of us, when we look at people on social media, the celebrities and so on and so forth, we think, oh my God, they have such a wonderful life. And poor me, I'm struggling each day. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a personal situation. Something is happening in everybody's life. Not everybody is willing to make oneself vulnerable and put it out there. And that was the whole point, letting people know everybody is going through situations. It's okay. As long as you walk the path and you are willing to put in the work, you will get over it. And you will get over it in style. So go for it.
I like that. Go for it. Just go.
Yeah.
So here's the question. I'll call you one of the veterans then, because this is your one.
By all means.
when you sit in the room and you're going to put pen to paper, what's the first thing you think about when you start writing those first couple of sentences? What was the thought process to say, I want to be a part of this book with the other ladies?
You know what, Charles? By far, since I started writing, this was the hardest one. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
This was the hardest one. Reason being, this was very emotional. Believe it or not, I've had my share of crying before coming on the show as well. Literally tears with my two sons, Ayaz and Mushahid. They know, they're witness to it. And they were like, what's wrong? And I said, I've come very far. And this is real. This is surreal. I had said this in 2014 that I want to be on stage just like I used to be back home. I was very used to a certain kind of life, and coming here changed everything for me. And now I'm back again. So this was the hardest one. It was I was put on spot. I was questioned. My integrity was questioned. My initiative was questioned. A lot happened. So it was very hard. I was so emotional that it was hard writing the story to get it out there. And I can tell you, had it been not for my family, my husband Altaf, my parents, my sons, who constantly hold me like, from all sides, this would not have been possible. I am just so blessed to have each one of them. And I have to say, Daisy has been there throughout that journey. She's been a mentor, she's been a friend, she's been a coach, you name it. I'm very blessed in relationships in general. I have wonderful colleagues. Some of them are here. I can see the comments. They are joining. Sonika, huge shout out to you. I see Vanzi probably from the RBC meeting place, Neelam. So many more. Kokab I saw earlier. There are just so many people who have seen this journey, and I'm just so grateful and blessed to be having the relationships that I have. I trust that is what keeps me going forward each day.
Well, listen, thank you so much. And I'm actually going to say thank you to your family and friends, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be in the chapter to keep you going. So I give them a big round of applause also, because that's
Thank you, Charles. I do want to say there are people watching from India. My extended family, Rimsha, and everybody else is watching. So thank you. I want to say here, Jammu, people from Jammu University, Jammu and Kashmir, I have to say thank you, because I know they're going to come. It's the time difference. And I do want to make sure that I've said my roots are from there, my teachers, the people that I began my work life with. Thank you, because if you were not there, I would not be the person I am today.
Thank you.
So thanks.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to touch on one thing before I go to the next person. Thanking others before you that help you get to that next position. That's what I love what she just did, because there's certain teachers that helped me to get to where I am. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So everybody that helped all these ladies, drive them, help them to put this book out, to put their stories out. I want to thank you for helping them, because that's what it takes. It takes families to help each other. It takes family and friends.
It does. It does. We don't do these things on our own. And my family, for example, they have had to put up with me when I get these ideas and I'm running with it and literally ignoring them. So I understand where she's coming from, and I do the same. I thank my husband Patrick and my kids and my grandson and my other family, wherever they are right now watching, my nieces and in Florida and all of that. I know they're there looking. So family is so important, Charles. And, they're the ones when you're down. I mean, my story is about failures and disappointments and getting back up. And, you turn to family for that.
All right. So I can see her title. So I'm going to call her right now. I'm going to introduce her because she has it in her title.
Okay, good.
To the stage, chapter 15.
Hi, Charles. Hi, Daisy.
Oh, my goodness.
Her title, making sure everybody sees it. Chapter 15.
I love it. Go right there, right?
Absolutely, all the time.
Yes. So let me tell you, Charles, this is like I said, these women are my family, and the majority of them, we go way back. And Leslie's one of these women that we go way back. And I was so glad that when I threw it out to the Let's Grow Project group, she was one of the first ones to say, yes, I'm ready. So here we are, Leslie.
All right. So Leslie, tell us about your chapter. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I do have to thank you, Daisy, because you are just a force to be reckoned with. And I look forward at the beginning of every new year to Daisy emails, because I know she's going to be up to something and I want to see what it is. And so this year, when her email said we're going to publish a book, I knew I had to be involved in it. But that whole thing of, well, other people have way more challenging stories than I do. And, but I've always been a closet writer. So I have little snippets of writing here and there on my computer and in journals and that kind of thing. So when it was Daisy who was behind the idea, I thought, okay, I can do this. And so my chapter is chapter 15, and it's called Little Miracles. And an important title to me because, like everybody we know, everybody has their challenges and their struggles. And when we were going through ours that I write about in the book, I really had to go beyond looking at the negative. I had to see that there were synchronicities and there were kindnesses and people I didn't even know that were coming and giving support, and they didn't know us either. And those to me were the little miracles. And so a very key concept to me about life. There's so much more under the, under the cover of things but we have to look for it.
All right. Now I'm going to put this up.
That's my guy. That's one of my two guys. There you go. And I write about Ben. He's had quite an interesting journey in his 22 years of life. And so, he figures prominently in my story.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel? Like big cap letters. That's my mom. Like the feeling of family and the book, how it's brought you guys together.
Well, and it has, and our life experiences certainly have, and it's wonderful to have two young men in my life who are like the wind beneath my wings, I think, too. And Ben especially, because he has been through so much himself that you just, whenever anybody needs somebody, Ben is always there. So, yeah, pretty spectacular.
So I'm asking everybody the same question because I need to know to get to know you. First time author?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what was the shaky part? You know, you picked up the pen, and the pen starts shaking a little bit before you start writing. What was it? What was it?
Oh, I have to tell you, Charles, it was just the being that vulnerable to talk about things that I don't think most people knew I was going through, or at least to the depth and the degree that I was. And so Brene Brown is someone who I have tremendous regard and respect for, and I read everything of hers. And so that ability to be courageous and vulnerable, and Daisy providing us an opportunity, I had to say yes. So
Brilliant. So what's the one thing, if someone reads it before I let you go and they read you, they're gonna be like, oh, I gotta call her right away.
What's the one thing?
Yeah, that you in the book that when they're gonna read it and then they're gonna be like, you know, you're opening yourself up. So when they call you, you know, what is it?
Well, even my mom, I'm graced and privileged to still have my parents. Other than my kids, my best fan club, and they're 90 and 94, my folks. And when my mom read the story, she said, I had no idea that you were going through. I had no idea.
Right.
And so, because I didn't tell anybody, I didn't talk about it that way. It was about getting through it. And so, yeah, even my mom didn't know. So,
all right. So what's mom's name?
Marion Burns.
Hey, Marion.
She should probably be listening on her iPad. She's even at 90, she's fabulous with, well, how can I watch? And so we got her all set up on her tablet today. So.
All right. So there you go. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Mom and Dad. Yep.
All right. So stay tuned. We'll be back. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Chapter 15.
Yes.
See, and here's the part that I like that she said.
Yes.
That her mom, now the book is telling the story. So her mom, things that her mom didn't even know. Because as a family, sometimes we don't share things within our own family.
Yes. And I said it to her as well. I mean, her story was one of the stories that I cried after reading it, because I've known her for so long and I knew certain things, but then I didn't know the depth of some of them.
Okay. Yeah. So now this next author, I can say, author. I see you in the green room.
The next author is Cassandra Edwards.
Hi.
Hello there.
All right.
Thank you for having me, Charles. Hi, Daisy.
I'm going to
click on you right away, because the thing is, I can see you in the green room. So when Leslie was talking about certain things, you're like,
So, no, she was speaking just so much truth. She really was.
The part I want to ask you is when she said being vulnerable, you went, all right, I know.
Yes, no, that really resonated with me, because even in my chapter, that was one of the main things that I talked about, how, you know, growing up in a Caribbean household, like, what is stress? You have nothing to be depressed about. You know, you have a roof over your head, you have everything, you know, and you see the sacrifice, and you never want to, you know, share in some of those vulnerable moments out of fear of being like seen as ungrateful or anything like that. So to be able to write this book, you know, has been amazing, a very vulnerable experience.
Okay, hold on. I had to put that one up too. Sorry.
Yeah. And she has a chapter in the book as well. That aunt of hers is somebody else that I've known for a number of years.
Okay, so it's a family affair.
Yeah, there's 3 of us in this book. Yeah, you met my sister earlier, Amanda, and Tanya Sinclair also has a chapter as well. Still I Rise.
So are you in this? Because I was wondering why the background looked the same.
Do you recognize?
I'm looking the same here. So let me ask you this then. Because it's a family affair, did you guys come together to write your chapters, or did you do it separately? Like, how did you talk about it? What did you guys do?
When Tanya first came to us about the idea and letting us know about Daisy's vision, we were able to kind of talk about the process of maybe we're going to mind map, you know, put down a whole bunch of ideas and then pick which one best resonates with showing resilience and strength. But overall, we were able to take this journey individually and then come together afterwards and just congratulate one another for getting this project in such a crazy time with COVID-19 and not being able to actually connect with each other in person. It's been an amazing experience to do it virtually.
So let me ask you this: Did when you read each other's chapter, did you go, I didn't know that? Come on, I didn't know that. Did you look at each other and wonder?
Oh, absolutely. I want to say even just last night, I had sent a video message to my aunt and I was rereading a portion of her story and I had to read it to her. And I was like, yes, you go, girl. It's just amazing. You see the accolades, everyone's journey, but then to really see it from their perspective, the emotions behind it, there's nothing really like it.
All right. So since you're all authors in the book, who's pushing it out more? Whose chest is higher more? Fighting for the author title in the family.
There's no competition. Absolutely not. It's just a very humbling experience. I don't think this was ever something that was really on our radar. And 2020 of all years. So we are both wearing that badge of honor proudly.
Love it. I love that you guys could share this as a family and keep it going. So what's your title chapter?
Okay, so I am chapter 20, and it's called Breaking the Barriers of Image and Perception, How Basketball and Cutting My Hair Changed My Life.
Okay. Ooh,
it's a long title.
that just threw me. You said cutting your hair and basketball.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, okay, as a baller, and I'm thinking cutting the hair, I understand. But, as the baller part, talk about that a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. So basketball has been a huge part of my life since I was very young. And although it's been a passion, like eat, sleep, play basketball, for me, it was really a vehicle. So as you know, same background. So I'm also in the United States, in Maryland. And, basketball just gave me an opportunity to travel and to get a scholarship to attend school in New York, and has just really opened up doors for me to then get into my career field. So basketball definitely has been a vehicle and avenue for me to really reach my truest potential.
Yes, and I love that because sometimes people need an outlet. So basketball was your outlet.
Absolutely. Sports in general. I mean, I played so much sports, but basketball was always a sisterhood. It's physical, it's aggressive, but it's also just a humbling experience as well.
Okay, so what is it? Is it the crossover or the 3-pointer? Which is it?
Oh, actually, no, it's the drop set on the post. Now, I'm not too tall, but I can bang in the paint, so.
All right, listen, if I'm down there, I got me and you're on my team, right?
Oh, absolutely. I got you.
Okay, so writing this book, and I'm going to put it towards the sports. Okay. When another sports person picks up this chapter, what do you want them to get out of it?
I want them to get out of it that it's a hard journey, but it's so worth it. Many people go into sports for many different reasons, whether it's just to have fun, meet new people, travel, make friends. But knowing that although it's about your individual growth, it's also really about the team. Knowing your role, how you, even if you're not playing, you're on the bench, or if you're the leading scorer, you've never seen minutes, how you guys can just really come together and just make something beautiful. Similar to this project, everyone has played a unanimous role, even though it's made up of summation of so many authors. That's the biggest thing about sports in general.
All right, so I'm going to see if you're my best friend or not. Ready?
Okay.
Michael or LeBron?
Michael.
Okay, you can stay.
Honestly, I always hate when they, it's either Michael Jordan, LeBron, it was Kobe or LeBron. They're all phenomenal players in their own right. So I'll watch either one any day.
And that's how I feel about everybody on this book. You guys are all phenomenal in your own right. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll bring you back.
Good to see you, Cassandra.
It's a pleasure seeing you as well. We haven't actually been able to meet in person, but I feel like Daisy.
It will happen.
It will. So thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned. I like that. I like how she brought her journey and her life. Because, you know, for me, a lot of people don't understand what sports can really do and what it has. You know, people struggling with things in their life and they can't wait to get onto the court or the field to let loose. Because this is where they can let loose and they can let, you know, just shooting that ball. And sometimes shooting, people go, well, why they're shooting 1,000 shots? Because that 1,000 shots is getting that pressure or situation out of them. So just shooting the rock, you know, getting it out of them. So I can't wait to read her story as well.
And the other thing with her story too is that it was a vehicle that, you know, gave her career opportunity. She, you know, she was an Ontario scholar and she got scholarship to go to study in the US and now she's a, you know, licensed counselor. So, you know, that's all a part of it. Playing the game is one thing, but, you know, reaching your goals through the sports is another.
All right. So who we got next? Let's go.
Okay, we have another one of my sisters from another mother, and it's Alicia, and she has been with me long before day one, and it's my pleasure to introduce Alicia Sullivan.
Hello. Hi. It's so funny that I started having internet issues because it was my turn. Hi.
Oh boy.
No, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. So now listen, if you're wondering why the face looks familiar, because she was on this week on my show, we got to know her really well. So if you want to know her background, you know, just watch that. So I'm gonna dive in straight into the book with you. What chapter are you on? What's the title?
It's chapter 12, and it's called Lessons Learned While Navigating the Workplace.
Okay. And then in the interview, you know, you said you've been working with Daisy a long time. So when she brought this to you, it was like, yeah, I got this.
Yes.
Telling your story was a little different. How'd you know which part of your story to tell?
Well, you know, I'm really committed to paying it forward in terms of immigrant women and their careers. You know, talking about the lessons that I have learned navigating the workplace. Navigation is almost like using a compass to find your way. It's not straight. It's not a straight line. And it's always shifting and changing. So really using this opportunity to share about some of the experiences that I've had. This is just a snippet of my experience in the workplace. And there are some lessons that I've learned that I've put out there in the book, and I'll share two with us. One is that we have to advocate for ourselves. It's, you know, hands down.
Absolutely.
You have to ask for what you want. You have to show up strong every day. You have to be the best of who you are. You know, the Bible says, ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be open unto you. For everyone that asks receives, and he that seeks finds, and to him that knocks it shall be open. So ask. You have to ask for what you want and advocate. And the other thing that I've learned navigating the workplace as well is the fact that we, you know, people of influence need to step up and give people a chance, just like Daisy has given us a chance. You really have to create space for people, you know, especially or women of color or men of color in the workplace. Once you've reached, don't forget to reach back within your organization, within your network, and pull others up along with you. Because from what I know, we are all driven. We are all we really want to make valuable contribution in whatever space that we find ourselves. And too bad that Black women and people of color, we find ourselves at the bottom of organizations. It's not a lack of credentials. It's not a lack of will. It's not a lack of having that desire to succeed. We just need to have the opportunity to contribute just like our other peers. So that's what I bring to this space.
Well said. Wow. Wow.
So I know you're passionate about your chapter. So one more time, what is your chapter called?
It's called Lessons Learned While Navigating the Workplace.
All right.
Chapter 12.
Okay, so what we're going to do is take a quick break and come back and bring all the ladies back on one more time. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
The United Achievers Club is a nonprofit organization which was established in the Brampton community in 1980 and incorporated as a nonprofit organization in 1987. Some of the club's aims and objectives are to raise the profile and consciousness of Black and Caribbean communities in the wider society, provide effective and meaningful role models for our youth, encourage greater participation in community and political affairs, provide resources for adaptation and integration of the Black and Caribbean cultures into the wider community, and to link with existing community services to provide educational resources. The club currently has two components, the club and a nonprofit housing corporation entity, Mahogany Place. Notable annual initiatives of the club include an annual scholarship awards event, first 3 scholarship awarded in 1985 and now numbers 398 in total, the Black History Month concert presented with its partner, the Congress of Black Women of Canada, Brampton Chapter, Pancake Breakfast, annual golf tournament and the very popular Celebrity Chef, Men Who Cook event. The club welcomes as members all those who share its goals and objectives. Congratulations to all the ladies of the new book 21 Resilient Women, You Make Us All Proud. The Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton, CCAH, is a volunteer-registered charity established in 1977. Its office is in Oakville and services the entire Halton region. CCAH was originally formed to provide settlement and social programming for new immigrants of Caribbean roots. It provides cultural education that develops an understanding and knowledge of other cultures through programs on culture, history, art, literature and music of Black, Caribbean and African cultures, promote mutual respect, acceptance, understandings of discrimination, impact of racism, and to build bridges between ethnocultural groups, institutions and the community. We would like to thank 21 Resilient Women for including us in this great event.
Yes, we are back live. And then before we move on, you know some of the organizations that we were talking about. I'm going to pull some of them up right there. Is that one of them, Daisy?
Yes, and Taranam, it's this one, Taranam's employer, a great supporter of women and women issues. So, yeah.
All right, so we're going to bring her back on as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then also had...
Again, that Taranam is on the board of Moya, so she'll speak to that when she comes back.
Okay, and then we also had somebody doing the backpacks. Who was that?
You have us. Well, it's Alicia is part of that, but you haven't spoken with the other person as yet. So.
Okay, so we're gonna bring her back on. So all the ladies are doing phenomenal things out there. They're doing great things. So let's bring them all back.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Besides this, what's next on your list? I want to know, you guys have the courage now to do things. So who wants to go skydiving? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you skydiving and tell me, anybody can speak. It's open mic. I want to know what you have next that gave you the courage to do next.
Well, I am working on another book with another co-author, and this time that's going to be a bit of a heavy lifting. Hopefully in the new year coming out.
All right, I see. Cassandra, you had your hand up.
This has really opened my eyes to the process of writing, and I would love to write, but I think I would like to switch avenues and maybe do children's books, something that sort of goes in line with my work as a mental health counselor. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Go ahead, Laura, go ahead.
I started journaling in 2017, and I always thought, okay, I just journal. I don't think I'll be a writer. But writing this book has made me realize that I have a lot to say, and I am going to be writing my next book.
All right. So who was excited to call one person and say, I'm an author? Who did you guys pick up first? Alicia, go ahead.
I was excited to text my good friend Sola Hines, who is big shout out to Sola Hines, who is watching today. Sola was my first boss, fresh out of undergrad in Jamaica. We were working at an agency, and Sola was such a mentor. Even though she was a young boss at the time, she showed me a lot of things, and I learned some valuable lessons. So I was really excited to let Sola know, because I knew that she would be very, very happy.
All right. Anybody else? Who did you guys call?
Oh, I called my parents right away. When you read my chapter, you'll see how influential they were in my journey. And when we finished, I sent over even the first draft to Donna. I was like, Mom, I did it.
Go ahead. It's open. It's open. Just speak.
Yeah, my kids were my biggest fans. First and foremost, they were like, "You did what? You wrote a chapter in a book?" And then of course my parents were just over the moon. So.
Laura, go ahead.
I called several people. I called my two best friends. One of them lives in Nigeria. I'm like, I'm an honor. And then, of course, my kids and my strong support system, Evelyn and Sunday. And then Malvis. I'm like, Malvis, I'm an author now, Yes.
I should not forget to say that, I communicate with my family members all the time. So I always have some secret thing going on, like, the book or volunteering on something or some trip or so. But, I told them that I was doing this, and my mom, my sister, my brother, who are here in Canada with me, and my extended family in Jamaica as well. And all my friends were always so... they're always so supportive of me. I'm not going to call them because I have a big family, but they all know themselves. I love them so much, my friends as well. And I know that they love me, and they're always in my corner.
So let me ask you this. Who is changing their name on their email now?
That's changed already.
Who's going to change and put author on their email now?
That's changed already, Charles.
So
I do want to give a shout out to my workplace, the Regional Diversity Roundtable of Peel. They're phenomenal with diversity, equity, and inclusion, and very accommodating while I was in the process. I also want to give a huge shout out to Moyo Health and Community Services, who do phenomenal work. I'm on their board of directors, and they do phenomenal work around HIV/AIDS and even newcomer support. So thank you for the work you do. This is what I want to say to both of these organizations.
All right. So Cassandra, I saw that hand go up. You had a shout out there. Go ahead.
Oh, of course. To my teammates that I'm still in close contact with, my parents, my best friends from back home and over on the United States, my partner, I just want to shout them all out and just say thank you for encouraging me and lifting me up throughout this process. But even long before the book, going through school, athletics, I just really appreciate you all. And I send my heart and my love to you all.
Yeah.
All right. So here's.
I just want to add one thing. I have a very long list, like Alicia. And when you're on the show like this, you're so scared, like, oh, I didn't mention this name and all that. Really long list. And I thank all my friends that are watching. My sister, especially, she's been with me through thick and thin. Joy and Michael, thank you for all you do. And helping
here's the thing I want to ask you guys real quick before we go, okay? I'm going to start with Daisy, and then each person just jump in and say what comes to your mind, okay? This is about yourself. What are you going to call yourself now? Like what one word describes you, how you're feeling after you put this book? Describe yourself in one word.
And you're starting with me?
Yes.
Triple author.
We're going to go ahead. Keep going.
Brave.
Okay.
Resilient.
All right.
Badass.
Yes.
I'm gonna say growing.
Okay, and Cassandra, the last word is yours. What are you gonna say? Badass is gone, so you gotta change.
I would say advocator.
Okay. Okay. Listen, give yourselves a big round of applause, everybody. It's been an honor to have you guys on here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Daisy.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
everyone.
so much.
Talk
Thank
later.
you.
All right, let's go. I love that part. I don't care. You hear what she said, Daisy? She just wants to put it out there. Her confidence is high. It's just, I love how everybody's changing and the stories are so
Absolutely. And one of the important things, Charles, I wanted to say is that I'm a woman of faith, and I don't shy away from that. And you can pick that up in many of the stories that people are talking about. And even when the idea came to me late 2019 about writing this book, I said, the first thing I said, God, this is your daughter Daisy, and you know her. Ideas come into her head and she runs with them, and then she comes back and she asks you, how is she going to get through this? This time, I am telling you from the beginning, lead me and guide me through this. And he has done just that.
So were you had to bring everybody together to, it's a melting pot. You had to merge them all together, all the different personalities, all the different looks. Was it hard for you?
It wasn't difficult at all. These people have been, like I said, the majority of them have been in my network. And those who weren't, I knew them. They hadn't attended any of the events. The few, I knew them quite well. So it was not difficult at all. And the thing is, I threw it out there. I said, this is what we're going to do. Who wants to jump on this journey with me? And in fact, I had more. The original list was supposed to be 20 to signifying 2020. But then we ended up with 23, and then, we had to end it. And one person said, no, I'm going to be in it. So we decided to just cut it off at 21.
All right.
So it wasn't difficult at all.
Okay, so let's dive right into it, because Melissa, I've been seeing her. She's ready. She's prepped. She's ready to go. I see the head moving. Melissa, show me your fingers. What chapter are you? What chapter is Melissa? Daisy?
You have to bring her in. I don't remember what chapter she's on.
Melissa, what chapter? What chapter are you? What chapter? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Let's see if we can get you going. Unmute. Try one more time. Oh, where's her volume? Where's her volume? Oh, she's bringing stuff in. So let's see if we can get her going. So,
okay, so Melissa is you brought up the backpack project, so
okay,
she'll tell you about that as well.
All right. So Melissa, I can't hear Melissa. Melissa, your volume's not coming in through your microphone. We can see you. Check your volume and see if it's up and ready. No, we're not hearing you. Okay, I'm going to bring you off. Check it, and we'll bring you back on. Okay.
Okay. So is Sweater ready?
Oh, I see her. She's ready to go. Let's go.
Yay!
See another one. I like her right there. I'll say it myself. She's
You don't even have to ask her the question.
Nothing. On there.
First, let's test this. Can you hear me? Because I don't want. Yes. Okay. Good.
All right. Chapter 16. I found my voice. There you go. Why that title?
Oh, I am not the same woman I was 20 years ago. I immigrated to Canada from Nepal 20 years ago. And for those people who know me, I'm no longer the same person anymore. So I found my voice.
You found your voice. I like that. So was it hard to take your voice to paper?
Absolutely. I mean, I write content all the time, all over. But then writing this story was really, really heart-wrenching, because English is not my first language. And it always came up everywhere in the leadership role, or whenever I'm talking to people. I was really, really insecure about it. And I think that's how I started writing my contents and everything. It got better when Daisy was the one who actually reached out to me. I was like, you know what? I can't believe I'm going to be writing a book. I never thought that I'd be writing a book and speaking with you guys right now. So that's what it is. I mean, it's all dream come true for me.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You said, I found my voice. Were you shy?
Not really. I think I was not introvert, but like, you know what, because I felt like my voice was not heard as a brown woman, you know, in a corporate world, in a leadership role, just sitting there. I was lonely up there in a corporate world, like, in a brown woman, just a few folks out there. So when you actually talk in front of, like, you know, men in a corporate world, in a boardroom, you kind of feel like you're not heard. So my story actually covers majority part of it, like, you know, bullying and harassment and whatnot. And as an immigrant woman in a career, like, how do you transition, right? And it's all in the book.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, what's your career?
I am a career consultant right now. I teach do's and don'ts to job seeker. I'm a founder and CEO at Teach and Do.
Okay, so now, because hearing your job title, seeing the I found my voice is like, I'm curious to read your chapter now, because I'm like, she speaks well, she's outgoing, everything's good. So I'm really trying to figure out what's your chapter all about, like how you put it together.
Oh my God, where do I start? I think I started from insecurity. I mean, like, being a tiny little woman with, you know, being compared to, like, you know, women who are really fully grown up. And I think every woman goes through that. I have a daughter right now, 9 years old, and she kind of, like, you know, feels it too. Mom, why am I not like this? You know, so I mean, everyone goes through it, right? So going from there to actually moving on with the insecurity to going to, like, going to the college here in Canada, you know, and mingling with the people, plus going to the career, climbing up on the ladder, working with the men, full of men, right? Different race, and, you know, coming as a brown woman and stepping up, you know, everything is pretty much like how I transitioned. Then I got laid off, and how I had to go back as a job seeker. And that was a challenge, full of rejections and whatnot. And then how I landed the role, then I quit. Then I got into the nonprofit world. I quit on the spot, right? So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to go be career consultant, right? So that's how my story actually wraps up.
Okay, so here's one thing. You're probably not working with those gentlemen anymore.
No.
But if you see them and you show them this book, what's the first thing you're going to say to them?
You shouldn't have done that to me.
Right. Do you feel like the book now is just, you know, gave you that extra muscle, that extra power now, because now you got your voice that you just put it out there?
Oh, yes. I mean, like, a lot of the things that people didn't know, my insecurity, self-esteem, and having no confidence without the title, I think it all shows it through. So every time I was reading it, I felt like, oh, was that me? Was that me? So the emotions and everything was in the book. And along with, I think I can relate with so many women out there who are confused in the career, like, who are the immigrant, you know, women. And, like, you know, I think the gist of story, we are all connected. Everyone feels that. And some people, we choose to write it. Some people don't choose to write it, right? So this is what it is. Everyone feels the same emotions.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And I'm telling that I don't know who the guy was. I don't know who the man was. Look out, man. Trust me. She's coming with fire. Chapter 16. I found my voice. Thank you. Stay tuned. All right. Let's see if I can get her back on. I know she changed equipment. Mic check 1, 2. Are you there?
Hi, can you hear me, Charles?
Yay!
I'm so sorry about that. I was too excited there.
That's okay. I know you're on your cell phone now, so let's go. Chapter 13. What's your title?
My title is Challenges Build Resilience.
Okay, and are you a first-time author?
I am a first-time author, and I'm really excited about it. Thank you so much, Daisy.
You're welcome.
So I've seen the smile on your face since you came into the back end. We're talking about being author, changing the titles. So I'm gonna do something different with you than I did anybody else. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. It's called rapid fire. Ready? I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Sure.
What comes to your head? Okay.
Okay.
Are you changing your title on your name on email?
Absolutely.
Who's the first person you called about the book?
My parents.
What was one part of the book that changed your life?
The end, encouraging people through COVID. I remember I was in a bit of a funk during that point. So that for me was really influential.
Did you think about quitting?
The book?
Yeah.
Heck no, Daisy would kill me.
I would, literally.
So it had nothing to do with your fear of the book. It had more to do with Daisy killing you. That's fine. Question: any little ones in your life that you want to see this book?
No little ones of my own, but I do have little ones that I'm very involved with through the Backpack Project. The Backpack Project is a nonprofit organization, and we help kids in the Caribbean. And so I'm hoping that every child that sees this book can get a copy of it and can read it and can just be encouraged by the female camaraderie, by the stories of empowerment, and just, looking at us as people that they can be like when they grow up.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, because just seeing this is what I'm going to do. Daisy, I want to get one of the books, and then I want to donate it to the backpack.
Thank you.
I want to put it in the backpack, and then make sure that backpack goes to a young little girl to inspire her to be like one of you ladies that's on the book.
That's so kind.
Oh, that sounds great.
Charles.
All right. I feel that the stories that you guys tell help the next generation grow.
Absolutely.
So if she can walk proud with that backpack, then she has something when she's going through difficult times, whatever. She pulls out that book, she reads a chapter, she puts it back in. It's like that sword of armor that she can keep going. So I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So tell us a little bit of, how long did it take you to write your chapter? Because for me, I hate writing. I'm telling you straight. I don't like it. So how long did it take you to write your chapter?
Okay, a bit of a secret among the three of us. When I was little, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to writing. And the reason is I love my parents and I love my dad. But when I was little, all of my writing would come back red. I don't know if you guys remember this, but underlined red, right?
Yep.
So it's made me really careful as a writer. So I wrote and rewrote and rewrote and rewrote until I was happy, because I knew my dad was going to be reading it and he would let me know if he wasn't happy with it. So yes, it took me a while, but I'm happy with the end result.
And so I have to ask you, has he read it yet?
Not yet. No.
All right.
I actually did ask when I wrote it. I asked if, my parents wanted to see it. They said, nope, we'll read it when it comes out. So that made me even more thorough in my revisions.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go. So go ahead. Give a shout out to daddy and mom.
Yes, a big shout out to my parents, McDonald and Rona Enmore, and my brother Jermaine, who's joining today. A lot of my story is about, reflecting on my childhood. I had a really great childhood. My parents are amazing. My brother's amazing. And just talking about how they helped me with resilience. My mom used to make fun of me when I don't know if she was making fun of me, but she used to call me stubborn a lot. And she would tell me how, like in the Caribbean, we say, your ear's hard, girl, your ear's hard. And thanks, Mom, because of my stubbornness, I developed resilience, and so I hope you're proud. I hope my family's proud of the woman.
No, I guarantee they are. So it takes a lot for you to step up and do what you do. So I guarantee they are.
Thanks, Charles.
All right, so stay tuned. We're gonna bring you back.
Will do.
Okay, great.
All right, so tell us our next author.
Our next author is Mahiza. Mahiza,
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Daisy.
You're welcome.
So here's the thing. Are you a first-time author?
Yes, I am.
There you go. I love my first-timers. I like to find out. Okay, so ready? Were you scared?
Yes, I was.
I love the honesty.
Tell me.
Definitely. I dreamt of becoming a writer, but I never took the initiative. So when Daisy asked me, it was like a dream come true. And I've known Daisy for over 7 years. She's been a mentor to me and a very good friend. She's helped me through my career as well as a career coach. When she asked me, I was moving houses and I was like, never mind, I'm going to maybe stand outside in the rain even, and I'm going to do this because Daisy's given me an opportunity that I've been dreaming of.
True.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Before Daisy, what were you scared of?
I'm not scared of Daisy. I love Daisy.
I didn't mean if you were scared of Daisy.
Oh, poor me. Nobody's scared of me.
I meant, what were you scared of to write the book? Because you said before Daisy came and asked you, you kept pushing it off. So that's what I meant. What were you scared of? Not Daisy.
Okay. It's not necessarily a fear. I would say we usually put things off for a better time. So Daisy brought that time. Daisy said, it's now. We are going to do this, and this is the date. So we all had to make it happen. And I'm so grateful to Daisy for giving me that opportunity.
So are you seeing yourself doing another one?
Definitely.
Okay. And then what about this one encourage you to do another one?
I believe reading the book and seeing all the messages that's coming across and what it can do for women out there, that we are able to motivate others, give them hope at a time like this, makes me want to do more.
Yeah, I like that part, the hope, and wants you to do more. So was it hard for you to come up with your chapter?
It was. So if I am to answer your previous question again, the fear was like, okay, what am I going to write about? And is that worthy of my audience? You need to frame a story from so many stories that you can tell that's worthy of being told. I wanted it to be something that would mean something to someone.
Now, here's a question for you, because with social media, with writing a book, you know, we're afraid of what other people will say. We're afraid of putting ourselves out there. We're afraid of the negativity. Once you pass all that back, are you afraid anymore?
Well, Charles, if you actually read my chapter, the chapter is about not being afraid of being who you are and going out to the world and being authentic. So my chapter is called Being Authentic and Strong. Actually, earlier it was celebrating who I am. Then I thought it doesn't really sum it up. So I'm going to call it Being Authentic and Strong. And Daisy loved that title. It's about being who I am, being comfortable in my skin, and not feeling apologetic about what perceptions out there about who I am or who they think I am. I'm going to be who I am.
I like that. I like that a lot. More people need to say that. You know, everybody was put on this earth for one reason. We all have that uniqueness about us, something special that makes us all different. If we were all the same and boring, it would not be fun. You know,
exactly.
So
exactly.
So stay tuned, and we're going to bring you back on. Thank you one more time. Chapter 10. Make sure you get that book.
Thank you, Mahiza. Thank you so
Daisy.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Charles, it's important to also note that all of us in this book are Canadians. We originate from different parts of the world: Sri Lanka, St. Lucia, Nepal, Philippines, India, name it. Guyana, the UK. We have roots there, but we're all Canadian. And then we have Canadian born and bred. So it was intentional in terms of, you know, getting this diverse sisterhood going. So I want that to be clear. And one other thing before we forget, we have decided, and I've told you this before, and you know it, that we are going to be donating. We are making some donations to some organizations that serve women, and one of them here is the shelter here in Brampton, and another organization is one that deals with violence against women. So we are serious about this, this thing. It's not just we're writing a book and that's it.
Right. And there you go. You want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yes, Fresh Start for Women is a new program with Roots Community Service, and Angela Carter is the executive director of this new group, and they have been doing a wonderful job in the community. And this is just one of the new programs. Yeah.
Okay, so I lost her, but she's back, so I'm going to bring her on right away. Shirley, you ready? Thumbs up, Shirley, so I can see you in the background. Here we go. Let's bring her on.
Yay!
Hello. My apologies. I was here listening to all my co-authors speak, and then suddenly it's my turn, and my internet cuts out. How bizarre is that?
There we go. Shirley, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you, Charles?
Good. So, chapter 17, right there. What is your chapter called?
It's actually called Growing Through Menopause.
Going through menopause. Okay, so I remember hearing this part in the chapter, and I'm like, for me as a man, I want to know, because a lot of men out there don't understand what you ladies go through. So I thought, wow, this is brave for her to write this in the story, to a chapter, because I said to everybody, this is not just a ladies' book. This is a men's book as well. So men, you need to go out there and get this book. So why did you want to write about this chapter?
Wow. I went through a situation, Charles, which was very jarring. I use the term jarring because I learned a lot of things through the process. And what I didn't have was a lot of information to support me through the time that I was going through. And I totally wasn't educated or informed, even in conversations with my doctors. And I think my aha moment was, how could it be that this is such a common occurrence amongst our women? And I don't know, I think certain cultures much experience this differently. So I'm understanding. I don't know if it's a diet or whatever is causing this, but what I do find is that a lot of the women in our culture, in my culture, experience this to such extreme degrees and have no support. And so the lack of support, because of lack of education, causes us to go through things in a way that we need not go through if we had somebody who would share these stories with us, so that we could be aware that we're not going crazy. When you lose your mind, when you're irritable, when you're having loss of memory, when my hair was thinning out, it's related to this change in your body, but we don't understand that because we're not educated about it.
Yeah, and I do understand that. What is your background, if you don't mind me asking?
Professionally?
No, born and raised.
Oh, I'm a Jamaican. I'm a Manchesterian, proud Manchesterian.
Okay, so the reason I asked that, because culture-wise, we don't talk about these things.
Very true.
We don't say, oh, by the way, as you get older, this is going to happen to your body. This is going to happen to your body. As you know, as my grandparents grew up, we didn't talk about the next thing of ladies or men. I remember we used to joke around with my grandmother, and she'd be like, "Stop it." You know what I mean? you don't talk about those things. So you talking about this in the book, who do you want to help when they read this book to understand?
First of all, my daughters. I have 3 daughters, and I want them to have access to the information. I also, my friends and women everywhere, women in general, and also men, because, I went through a situation where I was talking with a man who was ready to walk out of his marriage. And as we talked more, I realized that his wife was going through menopause. He saw that as a rejection of him, and he didn't understand her mood swings, and what I helped him to do was to add or include certain vitamins or naturopathic care to her diet, because he was responsible for purchasing groceries, cooking the meal. So it was easy for him to do that. And I'm not going to take credit for this, but they're still together today.
Well, see, and that's what I said in the beginning, that we don't understand. So reading this chapter will make some of us understand it. Men, if you're watching right now and you're like, okay, I get it now. You can understand. And our job is to help you go through it. Wife and husband, we need to help each other go through certain times in our lives. So I'm really proud of you that you wanted to put this chapter in the book.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this last question. Have you changed your title?
I have not. I was introduced to this project by my sweetheart of a girlfriend, Alicia. Alicia is just an amazing woman. And, she said to me right up when the book was coming out, now you can add author to your title. And I thought, darn, I never thought of that. It will grow on me. I haven't done so yet, but it certainly will grow on me. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now when your business cards can change, your telephone message. Now you can say, "Hi, this is Shirley, author." Leave a message and I'll get back to you.
I certainly will eventually.
All right. So without further ado, let's bring all of the authors back on stage. All right. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. So I just asked Shirley, Anybody change their titles? Who else is changing your title? Okay, so Melissa, you're changing yours? Go ahead. It's open mic. Anybody can speak. Go ahead.
Are you asking, are you going to change title to author? Or are you asking book's title?
No, I'm asking you, have you added author to your name now on your
Hell
business?
yes, right away, yes. I'll take that.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm like, who's changing their titles?
Yes, it's going all over.
It's certainly going on my bio.
Okay, so here's the question for you. I asked this in the other group because I want to know. Anybody can answer. Who's the first person you called to let them know that you're an author now?
I mean, my parents live in Toronto. They're watching right now. Like my mom and dad, I think they're watching right now. Parents, yeah.
All right, who else? Anybody else?
For me, it was my husband. He was at work. And then my family.
Oh, me too. Yeah, let me. He's watching right now. He was the first one. I mean, like tomorrow is our 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Time out. Oh yeah, my husband, by the way. And it's your anniversary tomorrow?
Yes, it is. 20 years.
Oh, okay. Listen.
Wow. What a moment, right? What a moment to launch this book. It's all necessary.
Yeah, congratulations.
All right. So Shirley, let me ask you this. You said you have 3 daughters?
I do.
What was the feedback? What did they say? They're like, Mom, you're an author. Like, tell me what they said about you.
Well, they're my biggest critics as well. So my oldest daughter, she's 30 in her 30s, and she's very close to me, and she's very proud of me. She's very encouraging and supportive, and so she actually got the book before I got it, so I swiped the book. I swiped it from her so that I could use it for something, another launch I had last night. So yeah, very good. My other kids are like, oh well, maybe it's just the norm. They expect it,
Hold on, do me a favor. I'm gonna bring you up. Can you hold up the book one more time? There we go. I'm gonna bring you up close. There it is, right there. All right. Can you turn the back? Let's see the authors at the back. Brilliant. It's a nice thick book. How many pages in the book?
I think it says 204, including the bio. I think it's 192 pages of stories.
Okay. See, it's a great book to have. Make sure you guys go out and get it. Daisy, how can we get this book?
Well, the book is already on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca. It's available on all the Amazon platforms. It's also available on Ingram Sparks. But I want to tell you that this book has become number 1 in two categories. One in the women's biographies and the other in motivational self-help. So there you go. We have reached number 1.
All right, there you go. One more time. All right, so I'm telling everybody right now, fellas, if you're looking for a stocking stuffer, this is a great stocking stuffer. You always want to get that something else for Christmas. Get it now. Buy it for your wife. Buy it for your brother. Ladies, buy it for your husbands. It's a great book to have. So thank you so much. But before I let you go, since you are my last group, I want the last word to be each one of you. Anybody can, stand out and say what you have to say. Say one word that represents yourself right now, how you're feeling. Anybody can start.
Grateful.
Grateful.
Resilient. I feel empowered by this group of women. And I just want to shout.
Oh, she lost her again.
Lost her.
I feel fulfilled. I actually feel fulfilled with this project.
Okay, so I got powered, grateful, fulfilled. Let's bring her back on. Come on, internet. She's on her cell phone, so let's see if we can get her back on. She wants to say something, but who else has been in words encouragement you guys have all been getting? Like, I've been posting them up. See, when you get these, you know what I mean, when you see all these congratulations, how does it make you guys all feel?
Proud, as Marcella says.
There it is. See?
Yeah.
There we go. Let me bring her back on real quick. Go ahead. Go.
Go, Melissa.
Go.
Sorry, I'm having internet, but thank you for this opportunity, Charles, and thank you everybody who contributed.
No, not a problem. Thank you for taking the time. All right, ladies. Anybody want to do a shout out before we let you go? You're our last chapter in the books. Anybody want to say something before we let you go? Go ahead.
I like to thank all my friends and family, especially Daisy and all the co-authors. This has been a wonderful experience, and I want to shout out to all my mentors, all my coaches, everybody who supported all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, anybody else?
I can say it. I wanted to tell everybody out there, anyone who's newcomers to Canada, life happens. How you react to it is up to you. Believe in yourself, and you can do anything in the world you want to.
Beautiful said. Thank you. We'll see you later. All right, Melissa, go for it.
Hi, I just want to thank Alicia. Alicia is the one who invited me to be a part of this project. So thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Daisy. I've loved Daisy ever since I've connected with her. Thank you so much to all the other women. It's really great to have a group of empowering women. We know we'll do more and bigger things. Thank you to my family and to my partners. And to everyone who joined today.
There you go. See you later.
Yeah.
Shirley.
I'd like to say thank you to this wonderful, esteemed group of women who've had the project, the privilege to work with on this project. And thank you to Daisy. Daisy is such a humble woman. She's such an amazing woman. And it's a pleasure to work with her on this. And also to Dawn James, who I missed her interview earlier. Just wonderful women to work with. I work in corporate Canada, and this is not the reception I usually get. So I'm really happy to have found my tribe.
All right.
Thank you, Shirley.
All right. So I see on the program, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. But you forgot something, Charles. We were supposed to be giving away 3 books.
We are still going
to the audience. Oh, okay.
Still gonna do that. I haven't forgot about that part. We're still
okay, good.
I'm gonna leave that for me at the end. But on my program, it says she has a parting gift. So I'm gonna leave it up to you. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Taranam.
Well, I am here to say the vote of thanks, and indeed it's a privilege and an honor. I want to start by thanking the Almighty for giving us this humanity. I wish to acknowledge the ancestors from the places that we come from and the land that we are on. I want to thank Honorable Mayor Patrick Brown and Councillor Charmaine Williams for making time for us today. I want to say thank you to the team that helped this project come to fruition, the publishing team, John James and Christine Bond. I also want to thank Mushahid Khan for the branding and design. I also want to thank Mazina, who's a co-author, her husband, for the cover image of the book. I want to thank all the families and friends and colleagues who accommodated the 21 authors while they were birthing this book. I want to thank the print and electronic media that covered us throughout these past days of the launch. Charles, thank you for being such an amazing host. From the bottom of our hearts, on behalf of all 21, I want to say thank you for the vibrant, the engaging, and the honest conversation that we've been able to have. And lastly, but most importantly, the 21 authors who were willing to have this honest, open storytelling, personal conversation. And finally, my final one goes out to Daisy Wright, the gardener of the Let's Grow project, who made all of this possible. Daisy, You are special. You're precious. Thank you for everything that you do. And I wish and I pray that you continue to do this for years and years and years to come. Cheers to the next volume. I hope that happens soon.
Well, thank you. It wouldn't have happened. I keep saying that it wouldn't have happened. I could have had the idea. I could have thrown it out there. And if you all didn't pick it up, it would have just fallen flat. So it works both ways. And I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So Daisy.
Wow.
We did it. And
we did it.
We brought everybody on. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to give away 2 books.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it 2 or 3?
It's up to you.
We had decided on 3 after each segment. So we're okay with 3.
Okay. So here we go. Here's question number 1. And this question is for the gentlemen that are watching. Okay. Who is the author that wrote about menopause in the book? Okay. So fellas, if you're listening, I need the author's name. Just type it into the chat right now. The first person that can give me the name, and it has to be a gentleman, because I know there's gentlemen watching. Type it into the chat and you'll be my first winner of the book. All right. So while we're waiting for that, Daisy, give a question out there for the next winner.
Give a quick what?
Oh, wait. We already have a winner. Hold on. There we go.
Oh, there you go, Asma.
All right. Congratulations. Daisy, take down his name and then we'll talk to him over Facebook. We'll find him on Facebook.
Yeah, we know him.
Okay, and we'll get him a copy. There you go. Good job.
Good. Congratulations.
I got my guys listening. There we go.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Question for you. I need you to give me 2 authors' names, and this is open to anybody now. Okay, and it open to anybody. 2 authors' names of the newbies. Who's new author? Type it in. I kept asking everybody throughout the whole show, who are my newbies, new time authors? Give me 2 names of new time authors. Go ahead, put it in. New time authors. I need 2 names.
Our first time authors.
Yeah, first time authors. Sorry, first time authors. Oh, hold on. I got someone to just put it in. Daisy, is this correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Denise Edwards with Cassie Edwards and Amanda Edwards. That sounds like family to me. but she's correct.
There's a lot of Edwards in this name.
I know, eh?
Well, congratulations.
And you know what? I have a niece in Jamaica who is Nicola Edwards. So
there you go.
So that in the mix as well. Yeah.
Congratulations. All right. So 2 books down. We're going to give away 1 last book. Daisy. Mm-hmm. Which book? What's the question, Daisy? Last question. What should we say?
Last question. Who is the author of chapter 15?
Good one. Good one. I like that one because if you're watching, it was plastered.
Yeah, it was plastered all over.
Chapter 15. I need the first person to type in who was the author. There we go. People are typing in. I don't see any. Nope, I don't think that's right yet. Nope. Hold on. I'm getting. Oh, here we go. Is this correct?
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
There you go. Congratulations.
Yay.
All right. There you go. There you go.
There you go. Yes.
I'm glad that everybody can get your books. Congratulations, Daisy.
Yeah, I will search them out and they'll get their copies. Let me just warn people that it's taking a while for the books to be sent from the US to Canada because somehow Amazon Canada they're having some issues where they've been telling me their engineers have been working on it, and I'm kind of losing my patience, but we'll wait. We'll see.
Just gotta be patient. We'll get it done. Everybody.
Yeah, we'll get it eventually. Yeah.
All right. Listen, everybody's still putting in their answers. The books are gone, everybody. But there you go. So Daisy.
Yes.
We've been talking for what, 2 months now?
Oh yes. Is it 2 months already?
Yeah. And we did it. So on behalf of myself, I just want to give all the ladies a big round of applause because, I could see why they're all family now. They're all personalities. They're fun. They're fun to be with.
Yeah.
They're easygoing. And I'm going to tell everybody, nobody got these questions ahead of time. This is how I do my show. These are truthful, honest answers, right off the heart. So congratulations to everybody.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Charles. And I want to thank Azmath Mohammed. He played a role in it as well. And Mushahad Khan, he has been with, he's Taranam's son, and he has been with the Let's Grow project from the beginning. You wouldn't believe it. So he gets a special shout out as well. And of course, for all my family and friends who are watching from all corners of the world, thank you so much for sharing in this. And for my family right here in my house, thank you all very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Daisy. That's it.
That's it. Thank you.
See you later, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional legal and medical services.